Hi guys, I'm Melissa and I'm back with another video. Today I want to share with you my February TBR because it's February almost already. I mean, it's not, it's the 30th today, but very few days left of the month. And I wanted to share with you what books I want to read for February. I'm kind of in trying to figure out how to build my TBRs for this year. I haven't decided it yet completely because I want to balance out me reading the things for the Harlequin project as well as the things for body reads and stuff in one bag, and still be able to read books from my shelves. So I don't know exactly how to do that yet, but what I'm thinking about is I will probably hopefully figure that out over the next month. I have plans to take part in a readathon this month, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, and I hope to start weekly vlogging instead of vlogging only the category romances, because I feel like it's not that it's slowing me down, but that the vlogging content doesn't become very good because I have to wait around until I have something to say about the Harlequin books that I'm reading. And I think I'd rather just talk about everything that I'm reading in a week, and then that way, and then upload a vlog once or twice a month, or two to three times a month, depending on how it fits. Because I haven't done that now, and also I'm sorry if the quality of the light in here is a little bit weird. I have the sun going directly in here and it lands on top of my table, which actually glares my vision, and I also have a cut here by my cat when she fell onto my head this morning when I was actually lying in bed trying to wake up. She was standing on top of the headboard and decided to jump down and then scratch me across my face. So that happened. Anyway, let's get started with my category romances for the month of February. I'm still working on the January ones, but it's definitely going well right now. I'm close to finishing the second one. It's the 30th, I know I'm not finished, but I definitely am enjoying that one, and I hope that I will enjoy the last one as well. But I'm definitely going to attempt finishing all three books for the historicals before I dive into this one. But in February, the Harlequin books that I'm trying to cover is the Intrigue line, which I'm really looking forward to. I already read an Intrigue book earlier, which was by Jenna Delian, and I really like that one because I enjoy Jenna Delian's books. I have read one of her cozy mysteries before and I definitely enjoyed that, so I knew her writing style, and I also enjoyed that one. But I'm looking forward to discovering more. And so before I get into the books on the TBR for this, the Intrigue line is sort of romantic suspense, although it's more of a heartwarming book with where there's not a whole lot of romance. There is romance, but it's not like heated and sexual and all of that. It's more of there's a mystery going on, a suspense element that leaves you on the edge of the seat, but then you have this underlying thing going on between the two main characters that moves as slowly as it does in the heartwarmings. I think that's what I have heard, and I feel like that's also what happened in the Intrigue that I read, whereas the romantic suspense line is more heated and more graphical in this romantic element, so it's more like maybe a desire but with a suspense element as well. Just something I figure, but we'll see if I'm actually correct about that when I get to read it. So yeah, the three books that I have on that list is Wyoming Cowboy Justice by Nicole Helm. I know this is one of Sarah's recommendations. She definitely reads a lot of cowboy romances, and I haven't read a lot of that, so I'm intrigued to read one, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. The next one I also have is Lone Wolf Lawman, which I also think is I also think this one is about a cowboy. I'm not sure. And then we have Deadly Cover Up by Julianne Lindsay, which is mostly because of the author, because I've heard a lot of great things about Julianne Lindsay before. So those are the 3 Harlequin books for the month. Let's get into the readathon that I plan on taking part in. It starts on February 16th, apparently, because it starts on the full moon and then it runs for a week. And it's an urban fantasy related readathon hosted by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes, which I will definitely leave a link to that readathon down below. I'm really excited about it. When I saw it, I just knew I had to take part in it. I was considering taking part in Polathon, but couldn't really make any books fit. But this is just my jam. And obviously Shiftathon is an urban fantasies inspired readathon where you read books with shifters and stuff. Or it could be something else, but it has 5 different prompts, and I have found books for all the prompts. The first prompt is a shifters that's other than werewolves. I mean, I haven't checked what the shifter type is in this, but I decided to go with Vision in Heat by Nalini Singh. This is the second book in the Side Changing series. Last time the shifter were, I feel like, panthers, so I'm not sure. Yeah, jaguar form, so it's definitely different than a werewolf. So I'm looking forward to reading this one and moving on with this. This is paranormal romance, so it's definitely not necessarily, yeah, it's urban fantasy, but it's paranormal romance, so it has a more heavier romantic element. And the Sai are these people with enhanced abilities that has to do with sort of the different brain stuff. Like it could be telekinesis, it could be yeah, all kinds of other stuff. I've forgotten the different times that it is. I think this one, she is an F-Psi with the highly sought after ability to predict the future, so she can see visions apparently. The next one is a book with a vampire. I decided to go with Drink Deep by Chloe Neal. This is book 5 in the Chicagoland Vampire series, and I am dying to get back to it. Even though the 4th book made me angry, the ending, how it ended up, I'm still curious to see how it ends up going onwards. And this is definitely also really exciting for me. I definitely enjoyed the first 4 books, more or less. And there are 3 different elements of the story. There's her being part of this vampire house, there's her with her human parts of relatives, her best friend, and then she has a relationship with her grandfather that I really enjoy seeing, who is working the underground in the police department. Then the third prompt is Fae or Elves, and I decided to go with Dream Fever by Karen Marie Munning. I don't know if I can actually finish all of these books in that week, but I definitely would love to finish all these books in the month of February. So I'm really hoping for it. I know I usually read through these books pretty quickly, so I hope that that will continue. But this is 500 pages of this book. But the other 2 are relatively slow, so I could start with Drink Deep and then work my way through the 3 books and see how far I get. So those were the first 3 books. The remainder 2 prompts I decided to go with the audios because there's no way I can read 5 full books for a week. The 4th prompt is read a paranormal romance creature from religion. Read an urban fantasy, a paranormal romance with a creature from religion, so an angel, demons, or something like that. And I decided to go with Heartless by Gina Showalter because I have read Gina Showalter before, definitely enjoyed it, and decided to go with this one. I had an audio of it, and it's the first in the series, and it's relatively new. I think it's from 2019 or 20. Maybe it's from last year, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely intrigued. And lastly, there's Zombie or Ghosts, yeah, an urban fantasy featuring zombies or ghosts. And for that one, I decided to go with Until I Die by Amy Plum. Not that I'm super excited about it. It is a book that I read a long time ago, but I remember the main characters were ghosts. Yeah, so interested in reading on in it because I was surprised about the first one, but I don't know how I will end up feeling about the second book. But I am interested in trying it, and it's a quick read, so I could read it. Apart from these books for the Shiftathon and the category romance, I have a bunch of audios that I'd like to get to. I have really gotten my audio listening binge kicked back into gear. So I have 2 audios I can listen to from home because I'm close to finishing the 2 Towers, so I want to have more books on it. I decided to once again put on Shaman's Crossing by Robin Hobb because I really would love to get on with Robin Hobb's books. I love Robin Hobb. I think she is one of my favorite authors alongside Terry Pratchett. But I'm really eager to see something else that's not the Elderling universe and see how she delves into a different world. All I know is that I'm probably going to care a lot about the characters, so I'm looking forward to see where that will lead me. And I've also really been wanting to move on with Jussi Olsen's Department Q series. So this is the 7th book in the series, I think. This is called Selfish in Danish, but I think the English title is something, I've forgotten it, I'll put a cover here. This follows a cold case investigation unit with Karl Merck being the leader of this group, and then we have some side characters in terms of Assad, who is the Syrian refugee, and Rose, actually I would call her, who is sort of secretary but still actually figures a lot of stuff out for them. And she is quite a character. Both of the side characters are really interesting characters. But in this one we actually figuring a lot more out about them. And I think the book after this is a lot about Assad, who we also don't know tons about. Yeah, usually I really enjoy these type of books, and you see things from also the victims' perspectives and villains' perspectives, so you sort of switch between different perspectives, and I've definitely enjoyed all of the books. So my favorite was Marco Effect and the Marco Effect, but I also really enjoyed Conspiracy and Faith and the first one. I think those 3 are my favorite in the series. But it's definitely not for the faint of heart. But I can access an audio now, so I'm definitely going to try and listen to the audios of these books for the remainder of the books in the series. Some other audios that I decided to go with, it's actually because I've been looking through, I wrote down a lot of anticipated releases from 2017 and decided to actually read the ones that I was able to read, that I had access to without buying anything, to figure out what if they're interesting enough. And so I have 3 of those type of books, and that is, the first one is Everless by Sarah Holland, which initially I was actually a little bit skeptic about, but I know I have heard people reading it that actually really enjoyed it, so I'm interested in seeing what I will think about it. Then we have Blood and Sand by C.V. Wick, which I've forgotten what it's about, but I'm looking forward to reading it. And then we have The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, which is a sort of Alice in Wonderland type story where she escapes into a different world. I don't know if it's a reimagining of Alice in Wonderland, but it's definitely interesting in that way. And the last 2 things are just things I really want to get to, because I've started reading Nora Roberts again. I really want to continue with that, so I've decided to use some credits on my Audible to actually get some Nora Roberts Audible audios down. The one I want to read this month is Undercurrents by Nora Roberts. This is from, I think, 2019, a standalone thriller, suspense one, and looking forward to it. And then I would like to continue with the Janine Frost Night Rebel series, and I'm going to be reading Wicked Bite by Janine Frost because I enjoyed it so much last month. So those are my audios for the month, and definitely very much inspired by what I feel like reading. Obviously that's how it's supposed to be every month, but some months I feel a little bit more obligated to finish certain books. But I'm really looking forward to all of these, and hopefully I'll enjoy it. And what do you have on your TBR for February? Do you have any exciting books that you are wanting to read? Have you read any of the books that I'm planning on reading, and which ones do you think I should start out with? Are you planning on taking part in the Shiftathon? Let me know about that as well down below. And yeah, anything else you want to let me know, always just add it down below. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.